Ooh, why American cars are so expensive. What an interesting video.
The average car price is nearly $50,000, a 30% increase.
Dude, this is also worth talking about, okay? Obviously, we're in the euphoria phase. Everything good, up, stock market up, everyone pogging. It's all gonna be fixed, no worries. If people start to be like, hey, shit still sucks, or you start to see bank stocks sliding, it's gonna be because of auto loans, dude. Auto loans are we've talked about this a couple times, but it really is, Americans are just paying so much money for cars they can't afford. Like unreal, like more than ever in history. Right now, people are spending so much money on cars they can't afford. They're getting repoed. Defaults are rising. It's worse than like credit cards. It's worse than it's like the worst asset class right now is cars. Cars are just the bottom 50% of America on prices and spending.
Monthly payments are also close to an all-time high.
There are plenty of models that are going for more than 100K.
That's crazy.
A record number of...
If you are not Elon Musk, do not spend $100,000 on a car. I mean, you're not Aiden Ross or something. 6 figures for a car is crazy, dude. Cars are depreciating assets. They're worth less the second you drive them off the lot. It's an instant loss of money. At least when you dump a bunch of money on like a house or something, they generally trend up in price. Cars don't. They instantly go down, bro, by a lot. It's one of the worst uses of your money. Just buy a car that can get you around. Yeah, I don't know.
Even so, automakers have resisted making cheaper ones. Margins are slim and costs are high. Chinese cars are cheap, but those are getting slapped with tariffs.
What's a tariff? Fuck you with that question.
Americans are paying more for nearly everything than they were a few years ago. But car prices have outpaced even inflation.
What do you think about how car prices have been over the last few years?
They're astronomical.
Yep. It's funny to be car owner. It's like, I mean, I guess not everybody has a car, but it's just so many people do that it's not special. Yeah, especially in most states in America, it's like that is just a default person. It's impossible not to have a car. Yeah, it's like phone owner, air breather.
So what does the industry consider an affordable car? According to the Center for Automotive Research, it would cost about $25,000. The average US household...
$25,000 is affordable? That's crazy. That's crazy because, I mean, it's how much it changed. You know, in 2017 or 18, I got hired at NVIDIA, which again, that's like super lucky. I got a signing bonus. I took all the money I had saved and the signing bonus. I put it towards a car. I got a Honda Fit, and I didn't even buy the whole thing. I had to put some of it down and some of it, and that was less than 25K. It was a 15K signing bonus or something, and I put like 7K of my own, and I still couldn't afford it. And it was like I don't know, 24. It was like less than this. That's crazy. Was it a new car? It was new. It was new, but I don't know, man. That's shocking. Should have biked. Dude, it was so funny. We bought the car. It was a Honda Fit. I mean, it's still my car today. I have the same car today, and we bought it because it could fit bicycles in the back. And we thought we were going to bike around all the time and like go out in the woods and bike. And we did that one time. We did that one time and we never did it again. There was no other reason to get the car. I mean, I'm a Honda Fit defender now, but for no real reason. We've never used the space. Not once. Well, yeah, we used it once. I'm sorry, we used it once, but that...
So, about 51% of the population can reasonably afford a loan on a $25,000 car at 8% interest for 48 months. The issue is there are very few cars at that price.
That's crazy. There's no cars under 20K. You can get a 2023 used Hyundai Elantra for 19K. Only 10,000 miles on it. That's not bad. That's not bad.
A few models might start there, but no car sold in September 2024 had an average sticker price below 20K.
That's wild.
Only 6 are below 25.
That's wild.
Here's how they got so expensive. Factor 1, the continued rise of the sport utility vehicle. They went from about 30% of sales in 2009 to over 50% in 2019.
Damn, that's crazy.
Americans just love big cars.
Based. Dude, what's funny is, so I read another article. It was a study on once you introduce what you might call like a predator car. I'll use a good example, the Cybertruck. But in this case, they mean like a car that's big enough to kill you in a small car. A car that's big enough that there's a collision, you'll just get wiped off the map. Once those are introduced to your highways, people feel like they have to compete. They have to buy other big cars to be safe. So like, there's like almost like an arms race on American highways where everybody is slowly getting, because if they ride around in a Tata Mini or something, they'll just get flattened. Yeah, it's a prisoner's dilemma of car size.
The legacy automakers in the US have been pretty explicit about, we are going for profits, we are not going for volume. And so we are going to sacrifice volume if it gives us a bigger margin. And that's a different strategy than they've followed in the past.
GM has become known for this strategy, especially under current CEO Mary Barra.
Yeah, Mary Barra is an idiot. And it's insane she gets paid as much as she does to like lay off GM workers, cut all of the low margin cars, focus only on a few cars they can jack up the prices on until slowly they become irrelevant. It's the most short-sighted CEO, get paid, get out mindset. Yeah, I think she's bad. I think she's bad for America. I think CEOs like that are like the worst stereotypical example of like a CEO that just over a system that was working for a short-term gain.
The trouble for automakers, the business is not that profitable compared with others. About 70% of a vehicle's price goes to the direct cost of producing it.
Tough this smart can only be called F-150.
Yeah, brother!
About 20 to 25%.
The Ford F-150, greatest machine ever created by God and man. It's truck month every month here in the US of A. And if you ain't driving a Ford F-150, well, you can get the fuck out. Each Ford factory has 3 mechanics on the assembly line and a priest. Because you need God on your side to make one of these babies. He blesses it when it comes off the line.
So the question is, how do American automakers get those prices down? There is some wind at their backs. EVs are expected to get cheaper with time.
Sure.
Battery costs are falling faster than forecasted, with big drops to come. New, stronger forms of steel may allow car makers to use less. The simple skateboard platforms EVs are built on are easily adapted to vehicles of different sizes, spreading out costs.
It's 2024 and new steel just dropped. People want cheaper cars. I can't believe it.
2 companies can share production lines and make similar cars with different brands. One can contract with another to build vehicles for a country where the first has no presence.
Could be a BYD setting up shop in Mexico, having a partnership with one of the US car makers or brands, and then they sell vehicles here with the appropriate sharing of...
What he just described is just a way of getting around tariffs for Chinese companies. He's like, it could be like, for example, BYD, the biggest EV manufacturer in China, setting up a factory in Mexico and then partnering with Ford to sell Chinese EVs with a Ford logo on it for cheap. Could be like that. Just a random example.
We're trying to gradually make a transition to new types of energy-run vehicles, whether it's electric, hybrid, other sorts of technologies as well.
Yeah, I mean, there could be a case for this, but it's just, of course he's going to say that. It's the American hammer manufacturer in favor of protect American hammer tariffs. Of course. It is your business, it is your job, it is your money. Everybody wants the government handout, but.
And so you can have some amount of demand side subsidies, like you get $7,500 off if you buy this EV with a certain mix, up to a certain point. But these things cost a lot of taxpayer dollars, as we all know.
I don't think it's going to happen. I mean, unless Elon makes it happen, but Trump was pretty against it, getting rid of all the EV subsidies. But we'll see.
China has taken large losses for a long time. And this is their playbook. They do this in industry after industry.
There's very little forgiveness for a CEO today.
Yeah, it's tough.
Who says they make losses on a vehicle or a vehicle line or a whole new propulsion technology. And so they question every quarter.
I mean, this already happened. Like a bunch of American companies like, Ford and Chevy and everything made EVs. And they didn't sell that well. And now they're like scaling back already. They're not like, okay, well, it's a long-term play. I mean, they're keeping some of it around, but they're already, scaling back the plants and the hiring and the spending because they didn't hit out of the gate. It's annoying.
Implementing these changes may be hard. China's regulatory environment and customer base is totally different from the United States. But closing that 30% cost gap might require a total revamp.
Feels like you can't do.
This is why for EVs, I think there could be a rationale for the tariffs. To give American companies time. They're not doing a killer job, but like give them time and they could get their feet underneath them. Even though I would love to try and buy a Chinese EV. Dealerships are such a relic, bro. Dealerships are just one of the most powerful political forces in America. And they have so much clout over our political process to keep any change from being had to where you can just buy a car directly. You have to buy it through a middleman. Interesting video. Needed more Mr. Beast sound effects and glizzies, but it was interesting. Topic was interesting. The guests should have vine boomed or something. Maybe they should have done it in Minecraft.